Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2026 related video here on my channel, and another reaction type video as well, because right now I'm about to listen to snippets of all of the songs involved in the final of Lithuania's national selection with regards to the 2026 edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which, as we all know, will take place this May in Vienna, Austria. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below, and as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. As I speak to you now, it is the evening of February the 23rd, and this week is a particularly busy one in the world of the 2026 edition of Eurovision, because there are lots of shows happening across the continent over the next few days, and by the time Sunday evening rolls around, we will know a few more confirmed tracks for this year's Austria staged event. I have the calendar loaded up here in front of me. We will find out by the end of this week who is representing Norway, Finland, Germany, Italy, Serbia and Lithuania. We will also be getting Bulgaria's song on February the 28th. There is also another semi-final happening in Portugal, and this is all excluding the possibility that we may have an internally selected song from one or two countries coming our way out of the blue. Czechia perhaps, Georgia maybe. We'll just have to wait and see. Certainly, I have a few videos planned for this week, and a lot of Instagram posts as well. rajc.esc, link in the description as always to that. Check it out if you want to. I just think it might be quite difficult to keep track of what is happening when. And certainly, if a video doesn't surface, so be it. If Instagram posts go up late, it's fine, it doesn't really matter. I suppose for me it's a sort of consistency thing. I really want to be on the ball with this sort of stuff. I don't want to feel like I'm letting people down necessarily. I don't want to feel bad if I'm not filming a video that I've had planned for ages. That sort of thing. But as this week is pretty full on, what will be, will be. With that being said, because I've tried to film this video you're watching now so many damn times, let's get straight into it with Lithuania. So this is not a first time reaction, because I have been following Lithuania's national selection a little bit over the past couple of weeks. We've had several semi-finals. It all started on January the 24th. 40 entries were there at the start. Arguably 25 too many, you could say, but they were split across 5 semi-finals, which, as I just said, started on January the 24th and will conclude this Friday, February the 27th. A 50-50 combination of jury and public votes has been used to determine the ranking in each show thus far, with the top 2 entries from each semi-final qualifying for the final. The third placed entry advanced to a wildcard round where only the audience determined one additional finalist. This online vote, opened after the last semi-final, was open for about 24 hours, and now we know who has won that vote. It was Nora Blue. In case of a tie in any of the previous stages, the public ranking takes precedence. That is the case as well, I believe, if in the final there is a tie for first place. Performances for the semi-finals were pre-recorded, but in the final it is live, so you are going to have to really deliver the goods there and then. There was a submission period. The artists in question were revealed on November the 25th. There are a fair few familiar names, that is for sure, including one artist who was a junior Eurovision representative for Lithuania back in 2011. Now, in this video you're watching, I am not going to be going through all 40 tracks, because that video would take far too long to do. So I am only focusing on the finalists. Rest assured, I am a little bit familiar with the eliminated songs and will be checking them out in more detail in the future, and I may well talk about some of those tracks in a future video. But in the final, we have the running order. It says here it's taking place in Vilnius. There's a 50% jury vote, a 50% public vote. There is no super final. It is one and done. You have to win ahead of all of the others straight away, pretty much. And it says here, unlike during the semi-finals, public voting will be conducted exclusively online via a voting platform. SMS voting was discontinued following the voting controversy during the fourth semi-final to ensure a smooth and transparent voting process. But as we all know, Seoul online voting can be a little bit dodgy, it can be manipulated, people can supposedly buy votes. How often this happens or not, I don't really know. It is what it is. Anyway, these are the finalists for Eurovizija.LT 2026, and apologies for any mispronunciations. We have Rugile with Ikona Shemete, which means Icon of Samogitia. Walls of Water with Unshakable. Lion Seca or Checa, Lion, with Solo Quiero Más, which is Spanish for I Just Want More. Nora Blue, who, as I just said, won the online wildcard round vote, which was open for about 24 hours after the last semi-final. It was online, I saw it, I think I voted, can't quite remember. It is what it is. Then we have Stand Up by Noi, Deganti Shemele, which means Burning Earth by Atikin, Contact by Shower, Grishim, which means Return by Vilnius Voices, Salve in Meum Mundum, which is Latin for Welcome to My World by Lolita Zero, Sacco by Paule, that is the person who did Junior Eurovision many years ago, and Let Me Cook My Black Biceps. So, I think this is going to be a really close result. I think there are 3, maybe 4 tracks here capable of winning. It's now time to load up a video. Here we go. This is by Mr. Eurovizija Recaps, and it is a recap of the finalists of Eurovizija.LT 2026. It is just under 3 minutes long. So yes, not a first-time reaction, but it will be interesting to view these again. What will happen before Friday is I will go onto Spotify. This is something that I've been doing for a few years now. All of the songs that are on Spotify, because I think one of them is not available yet, I put them into a playlist in a random order. I go through them one by one, listen to enough of each song to have an opinion on them, and I will determine my top 3. It's as simple as that, and I've been doing this with other national finals throughout the season as well. I'm working on Germany, I've already done Norway. If you'd like to know my top 3s of national finals, I will direct you to the Eurovision Instagram page, rajc.esc, but I'm also posting them on my posts page here on YouTube as and when. My word, my throat is already starting to hurt. Let's get straight into this, but firstly, let me just turn my plug on. There we go, to make sure there's no mishaps. Let me know what you think about these tracks, especially if you are from Lithuania. Here we go. What I'm watching won't be in the bottom corner of the video you're watching. That's the way it usually is, but you might have seen this by now anyway. So, yes. Yes, so, Ikona Shemete is up first. This is really striking. The outfit, sort of denim shorts it looks like, a red top. Yeah, it's a bit of a bop. It has some groove to it, doesn't it? And in terms of what's happening on the backdrop, we have this image of a woman. It's very glitchy. There's musical notes, scribbles. I do need to revisit this one because it definitely stands out quite a bit. I'm hoping the studio version has a little bit more gusto to it, because live, I just feel as though it's maybe missing a little something extra. A little bit of a kick up the backside, if you see what I mean. But this is really good, and would do fairly well at Eurovision, I think. Yeah. There's choreography, but it's not over the top at all. It's a bit of a pop bop. Next up is Walls of Water. Well, I have to say I'm amazed this is in the final. Yeah, this is a sort of swinging rock number. Gold lighting. It's an ensemble. Green guitar. Let me listen to that again. I'm not really a huge fan of the vocal, I have to say. Casual attire. Yeah, it's a mixture of jazz, blues, funk. Oh, man. Yeah, it's not bad, but I can't see that doing anything in the final. Next up is Lion, with Solo Quiero Más, a very striking performer here. So there he is, looking like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. Solo quiero más. Very dramatic. Quite a good voice. This chap finished 3rd last year, I think. Yeah. And we have this figure shrouded in black off to one side. I'll be honest, I haven't seen all of the performances in full, so I can't quite remember exactly what happens here. Yeah, definitely it's got some sort of electro thing going on, ever so slightly in the background in this snippet. It's a serious contender. It's a serious contender. Next up is Nora Blue. Yeah. Yeah. This is just a pretty bog standard slice of pop, I guess. She's on stage here, black outfit. There's this white light up box that she has. Yeah. It's fairly simple, this effort here, but I actually quite like it. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it at all. I don't know whether it's really that competitive, but it's nice enough. Next up is Noi. Yeah, this is not making any sort of impact at all. Black outfit. We have water and then this sort of glitchy effect on the backdrop. I actually quite like the relatively sparse instrumentation that's going on here. It feels very chilled out. Curly hair. But this doesn't stand out at all, really, in this field. In my opinion. Next up is Atikin. And this is absolutely one of the big favourites. However, the snippet that I saw of this a few weeks ago didn't blow me away. Because, in my opinion, with all due respect, he looks very awkward on stage. So it's a bit otherworldly, this track. We've got a couple of backing musicians off to one side. Imagery of forests on the backdrop. Yeah. It's sort of folk meets drum and bass, but it's not really over the top at all. Again, a bit like with Ikona Shemete, that first song here. I'm hoping the studio version really is terrific and really packs a punch, because live, it's missing something. And I know, absolutely, Atikin is a hot favourite, but the performance is going to have to be a hell of a lot stronger to convince me, I'm afraid. I don't know. It feels awkward. The song, really not too bad. But the presentation isn't quite bang on the money for me. Next up is Shower. Now, they were the runners-up, I think, a couple of years ago. Can't quite remember. Now, another rather glitchy background. Wow, that was short. I do have another video loaded up, though. Smoke Machine. The band are all in a circle here. It's a bit of a rock song, but it's not really heavy. Not as moody as Catharsis, for example. That's a serious contender as well, it really is. Next up is Vilnius Voices. There's clearly a message to this one. I'll need to look it up. So, relatively drab attire here. Feels very spiritual. Quite like the backdrop, people walking slowly. Yeah, that's quite an interesting one, but it's not the best choice here in my opinion. Yeah. Lolita Zero is next. So a couple of years ago, they had a song called Not Your Mother, which a lot of people loved. I wasn't really a fan of. And then they had a song under their real name, I think, a few years before that, called Get Frightened. I think it was the same person, which I liked a bit more. This one, on the other hand, we have this red and black spiral, dancers with horns, heavy makeup. It's very circus-like, I guess. This is not really my thing at all. I've got to be honest with you. It's not so much the outfits or the vocal or even how it looks. It's just the song. I just don't... Even in this very short snippet, I just don't think it's really strong enough. I really don't. There are better choices. Then we have Sacco by Paola. White outfit, curly blonde hair. This is not bad. Yeah, she sounds pretty good here. Yeah, fairly contemporary. I have to say, 40 songs though. And for the past couple of years, we've had a lot of songs in the Lithuanian selection. Some of them do blend together, and I feel as though songs like this one here, I've heard them a lot of times in the past from this country. Really not too bad, but I can't see her winning. That leaves Black Biceps. Have been involved before. I think it was last year. This is in that sort of gabba style, I think it's called, that Joost Klein has been known for. There's a microwave on stage, because why not? It's very energetic. Yeah, high energy stuff, but also relatively messy, and not the right choice for Lithuania in my opinion. Yeah, it'll get you fired up for when your food is ready to come out of the microwave, but otherwise, I'm not really sure that's the best choice at all. Anyway, let me just check out one more video here. This is ESC Eiffel's Top 11, so credit to them for this video. Yeah, Walls of Water. Not remotely strong enough, I'm afraid to say. Paola. This is pretty good, and she's alone on stage by the looks of it, so she's doing a pretty good job. But I just don't think it's going to get a lot of love. Black Biceps, well, this is going to be a public favourite more than a jury darling, that's for sure. Preferred their previous entry. Nora Blue. This is probably going to be in my top 3. Playing it safe, but not bad. Yeah. Yeah. Icona Shemete. That could be in my top 3 as well. It's quite quirky, but it doesn't feel like a jokey entry either, which is really good. Stand Up by Noi. What is going on here? A game of chess on the backdrop. Not competitive enough. Atikin. It's very flat. It's very flat, and I hate to say it, but I'd like to see a hell of a lot more movement and confidence from him. Because in this performance, the energy isn't there. And it is a relatively energetic style of song, I would say. Not too much, but you know, it's fairly up-tempo, so give it some welly, if you see what I mean. Anyway, Lolita Zero. I don't see this doing well at Eurovision if it gets there. I really don't. Yeah, there's better choices, I'm afraid. Solo quiero más. This is more of a jury favourite, I think. Certainly could win. Vilnius Voices, number 2. At Eurovision, though, and I think this year is going to be a year full of very expressive entries, this could get lost in the mix very easily. So that leaves Shower. It's fine. Not blowing me away. But that is probably the best looking performance here. One of the best sounding performances here. And in all honesty is probably Lithuania's best shot at doing relatively well in Vienna. But there you go. Not much else to say. Hopefully this video turned out okay. I'm going to get it uploaded as soon as I can. That is my somewhat messy reaction to Lithuania's final of their national final. Yeah, it really should be very close. Very close. There's 3 or 4 songs that could do it, and then everything else I think is out of contention. I would very much like to see Ikona Shemete do very well. That song is definitely doing something a bit more interesting, but it's on first, unfortunately. Solo Quiero Más is on early. That really could do it. That could get the jury 12. Atikin, yeah, that could win, but the performance needs to be stronger. It really does. Because there's a lot of potential there, and it's not quite reaching it. At least the previous performance wasn't quite reaching it. Shower, yeah. For me, I'm not saying it's my favourite, but Contact, exclamation mark, I'm rubber stamping it now. That is probably Lithuania's best bet. On the whole, though, I don't think the quality is as strong as what we've seen in recent years. But there we are. Let me know what you think. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.